Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Ginny Barrow, and welcome to Start the Day with Ginny. Have you been feeling like it's time to stretch, like it's time to get out of your comfort zone? And usually, one of the biggest signs that you are ready is when you are experiencing something in your life that you realize somebody points out to you. For example, they say, I see that you react this way when I speak with you, or that when I mention this topic, you tend to have this type of reaction. That means that someone, thankfully, has been able to point out maybe that there is a blind spot that we haven't noticed. And when we show up and get triggered by whatever it is that's triggering us, that we have a very unproductive response to that. And as a result, either the relationship at the moment gets impacted by it, your performance at work may be influenced by this reaction that you have. Maybe you're not listening because you go into a downward spiral as you are being triggered by this input that you received. You feel when you have some type of negative emotion and how that emotion impacts you. And if you are lucky enough to have somebody around you who feels safe with you to share what they are perceiving, that is absolutely a gift that they're gifting you. Because without those people to point out and give you that feedback, you may not be able to notice that you're showing up in a certain way that's counterproductive to where you want to go. So if this happens to be you, if you are experiencing in any way any crunchiness inside, if you are feeling ready to make a change in your life and you realize that the reason why you're ready is that you're not happy with the current results that you've been getting, that you are ready to be more in control in a good way of how you behave so that you can receive the joy in life that you really want. And the most valuable thing about that approach is that you are in the driver's seat of what happens to you when you decide that you are ready to grow, that you are ready to stretch yourself. So what happens when we stretch ourselves? The number one thing is we become more willing, more apt to welcome the change, and we want to do something about it. So we become more proactive in pursuing the change. The opposite of that is when we get a fixed mindset and we say, nope, this person is not going to change. This situation will never change. This relationship will never change. And you basically seal the deal by saying, if this doesn't change, then I'm just going to accept it and move on. And this may be legitimate in certain cases. But if this is something that impacts you every single day because it's at work or because it's in your personal life, perhaps it's time to embrace a more growth mindset around the topic. What does that mean? People change. Situations change. Nothing is ever final. So if you find yourself in that position of being really fixed-minded about something that you believe is never going to change, I'm inviting you to notice it and then put the remote control back in your hands to say, what can I do? How can I show up? How can I communicate in a way that is more welcoming, that the people around me feel more safe, that I feel that I'm collaborating with them instead of fighting against them? So willingness is a key ingredient to stretching and stepping out of your comfort zone. I know I covered a lot of different points. This is something that I'm experiencing personally, where I am finding myself stretching out of my comfort zone. And I'm lucky enough to have a person in my life to help me do that. And I have different people in my life who help me do that. And when I'm willing to listen, it's very different than when I'm fighting it. So as I embrace my stretching and as I embrace getting out of my box and out of my comfort zone, as your coach today, I'm inviting you to entertain what area of my life needs me to stretch so that I can enjoy more of the love that is there for me, more of the happiness and more of the resources that are available to me and remove some of that negative emotion that you may be feeling on a regular basis. And ultimately, live with more purpose and live with more joy. So that is the Start a Day with Ginny. If you need to reach me, you can always find me at callwithginny.com. Live with purpose, live with joy.